Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the latest generation for the Mclaren GT. This model's finished off in GT orange with the two-tone design, so the entire roof is finished off in gloss black. Original MSRP started right around $213,000. Now, this is a mid-engine supercar. With the GT, you can't actually see the engine in the back, but this is powered by a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 paired to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. It pumps out 612 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque. Sent to those rear wheels, it can propel this 3,400-pound supercar from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, 0 to 125 in 9 seconds. Top speed is 203 miles an hour. So we have a very impressive daily driving supercar that has a lot to offer. So let's move on to the exterior styling now, where up front you will notice this has a lot of smooth angles. There's nothing too crisp about it, but it gives it a very distinctive look. Up front, there's the line that's just underneath the LED headlights. It wraps all the way to the opposite side, of course. There's also parking sensors up front, and all the gloss black gives it a nice touch. In the lower section, you will notice that right in the middle, and there's large inlets to provide a lot of cooling to the components that are up front. Now, being a mid-engine vehicle, we do have the front storage space, or some people call it the frunk. On the key fob, you'll notice the car design. If I push on the front wheels, that's how you release the front end. And then from there, we can pull this up where there's actually a lot of space. There's the car cover, all of my camera equipment, so you could pack enough for 2 people, and this isn't the only storage for this car. So it makes it very nice to at least take this to the grocery store, put in some bags, go on a trip, and it gives you that added practicality. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a staggered setup for these wheels. They're 20 inches up front, 8 inches wide, 21 by 10.5 in the rear. Finished off in gloss black gives it a very nice look with that multi-spoke design. There's the Mclaren brakes finished off in gloss black, and then even more gloss black in the lower side skirt. So it matches well up front as well as with the roof. Now there's the body colored side mirrors and then a massive inlet to provide cooling to that engine. I really like this side profile design too. It's a very low car, and you can see some of the lines above that rear fender just add to the definition, as well as the ones in the lower section of that door, to give it a fantastic look. Now, as we work our way to the back, this has a built-in spoiler for the bodywork up top there. There's the third brake light. Mclaren is spelled out. This has a very thin set of taillights right in the middle there of that crevice, with the vents on the top and the bottom. There's the backup camera with all of the sensors, more gloss black, that dual exhaust, and then even some fins in that lower diffuser. Now, being the GT, let's push on the back of the car now, and the power-operated liftgate will open up. Now, it's cool and not cool that you have this amount of space. You can fit some items in the back here, but it's not all that large. So it's very, very short, as you can see. Gets a little deeper behind both of the back seats where you could put some larger items. So if you have jackets, smaller bags, or something like that, you can place them in the back, and you can push on this button here to close it up. So it is power operated, which is very neat to see. Now, as we work our way to the interior, this is how you open up the Mclaren. You can push on this button. The window will roll down slightly, but if you hold on that, it will actually go all the way down, which is neat. And then from there, we can lift up this door, and you get that supercar door that everyone wants on their own vehicle. So really nice to see that. On the back side of the door, there seems to be some kind of flatbed or towing button that you can use. You can open up the front storage space too. And the door panel has a nice design to it with all the leather. This has the Bowers & Wilkins audio. There's a little bit of hidden storage in the door, and it's closed because with the door open, everything would just fall out. So it's a nice hidden storage bin. There's the window adjustment and then the release to exit. And then for this entire door sill, there's leather along with the carpeting. This has the black leather seats with all the orange stitching. And this door sill here is not all that hard to step on over. So it's a little bit of a different process, but you can easily get in, grab that door and close it, and then we have the window adjustments to put that back up. Now we have the solid leather steering wheel with all the brushed aluminum accents. This has massive paddle shifters on both sides. But let's fire this up. and we can go over the rest of this information. So we have turn signal, of course, on this left side, wipers on the right side, and they actually don't get blocked by the paddles, so they're easy to grab. But in order to go through the gauge cluster, we'll use this stalk down below, where currently the tach is front and center, along with what gear you're in, miles per hour. Right side shows us the fuel, engine, and oil temperature. On the left side, there's trip information. You can get into your phone, get into navigation, and then you can also enter vehicle info. So you can go through all of this, just depending on what you'd like to see, and then we're back to nav. So not a whole lot of info, but it's pretty easy to go through, and it's nice that you do have this amount of info to see. In the lower section, you'll also notice non-active currently on both sides. That's because we have the active button right in the middle with your different driving modes and traction control modes. So if I push on active, we're in track mode for both settings. On the lower right, we can switch to sport for your powertrain and then go into comfort. And then on the left side will be for your traction control. So you can go through both of these. The vehicle will also get louder once you put it into track. So that exhaust really livens up when you put it in active, and then basically for normal daily driving, you can shut that back off. So it's nice that you have that digital gauge cluster for that info. Now on the left side, there's a release for the rear liftgate, front liftgate. We have the headlight adjustments, and then the side mirrors are on that right side there. Entire dash is covered in leather. There's 2 air vents in the middle. And then we have this very small screen, but it's also easy to use and gives you a lot. You can get into your settings to go through all of this, get into your fan speed, look at the navigation too. You have phone, music, and a rotary dial right in the middle here. It is a touchscreen system too, so you can use that to quickly go through all of this. So again, very nice to have for this. There's a GT badge way down below there, 2 cup holders, and a little bit of storage on both sides. And then in the middle, there's the hazards, the lock button, launch control, as well as the engine start stop feature, and then drive, neutral, and reverse. All of these work the same just by pushing down on them. And in reverse, this is the backup camera. So it appears right in the digital gauge cluster there with your sensors in that infotainment system. There's no button for park, so simply just come over, pull on the e-brake, and now you are in park. We have 1 cup holder in the middle, actually a decent amount of storage in the center armrest with some auxiliaries. There's no glove box over on that passenger side, however there is a net down below. And then this is a look at visibility and the rear storage. There's a sunroof up top as well. You have a lot of visibility over that right shoulder, and then over the left shoulder there's another window there. So you can actually see the bodywork and any cars that would be over that way. So for this mid-engine car, this is actually incredibly easy to see all around. But now let's get this out on the road. Let's put it into the track mode now. We have it in the manual setting. Here we go. And we are up to speed. You do feel a little bit of the drama in between the shifts, especially in track mode, which I like to see or feel, just to give you a little bit more of that drama with it not being quite as loud as I would have hoped for the style vehicle. But again, it's a Grand Tourer, so it's going to be a little bit more geared towards daily driving. Obviously, you can change that with an aftermarket exhaust if you would like to, but here is one hand downshifting. I've never seen another vehicle where you can do that. So I really like that rocker design for these. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Mclaren GT. And hopefully you can tell just how easy this is to see around. I really like the amount of visibility for this. A lot of people always complain with mid-engine cars that they don't have a lot of visibility, and to an extent that is correct. But even in my R8, I can get everything adjusted and really not have any blind spots. So it's just something that of course you get used to. It's not something that is going to hinder you from buying a vehicle like this. But this one has a lot of visibility, which is nice to see. And I like how modern feeling this car is. With the amount of tech that it has, everything is super user-friendly to go through. It's definitely something that is daily driver friendly. So if you're looking for an exotic supercar, this Mclaren is going to give you that experience. It's also going to be incredibly fun to drive and rip on. But that is going to wrap it up for the Mclaren GT. Once again, huge shout out to 704 Exotics for providing this supercar for me today. Check out their website. Also, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.